Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. Always excited to be with you. And, folks, always excited to share the news with you. And I tell you, Omar has got to be upset because Tim Walz is blowing her cover. That's right. He's doing such a bad job of running the state of Minnesota. And all of this fraud is being exposed in real time. We are in the billions of dollars, not the millions, not the hundreds of millions. We are now in the billions of dollars of fraud in Minnesota. But I've got amazing clips from Omar. I've got a lot about the fraud in Minnesota and exactly what is taking place, because a lot of people don't realize this, but a jury was just overturned by a DEI judge here in Minnesota. So do me a favor, please smash that like. Do chat in with where you're from, folks. And I want to bring on a special guest for today's show. I have the illustrious Mike Lindell. He's joining us with his Christmas tree this morning.
Great to be here.
Thanks for joining us, Mike. And, I know there's a lot of great deals going on at MyPillow. We're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. But I want to start out with the fraud that's taking place in Minnesota, because Minnesota is near and dear to both of us, because, this is where MyPillow is located. Okay. This is where you are half the time. You're kind of between here.
I grew up in Minnesota. I lived there all my life, so it's very dear to my heart. And
yes,
it's going to be very dear if I run for governor. I'll tell you that.
This is right.
This is disgusting. What's going on? It's absolutely. You can't make this stuff up. But we knew it was happening. I really believe everybody knew that there was a lot of corruption going on. It's great. It's coming all to the surface now.
Yeah. Well, and if you do want to support Mike, go to mypillow.com/lumberjack or call 1-800-568-2865, folks. But let's get right into this, Mike. I want to share a clip by Matt Walsh. I think that kind of sums this up. So we've had the problems with the Afghan refugees shooting our National Guardsmen this week. We've got tremendous amounts of fraud here in Somalia. And at the same time that's going on, we have all these people from Somalia talking about how great Somalia is. So then why aren't they in Somalia? That's the real question. But here, watch this.
This is why we say import the third world, become the third world. Because the thing that nobody wants to say is that the reason why third world countries are the way they are is because third world people are the way they are. Okay. At the end of the day, your country is a reflection of its people. Every country is, when it comes down to it. Somalia is totally dysfunctional and corrupt because scam and frauds, piracy, this is part of the lifestyle, part of the culture. Bring it over here, you get the same stuff.
This is a great point, Mike. And this is going to be, the liberal media would freak out like if Matt Walsh was on their show doing this, because they're going to tell you that that's somehow racist. We are not talking about the color of people's skins.
No.
We are talking about culture. Okay. That's what we're talking about here. So, when you look at America and how we built roads and bridges and train tracks and everything and tamed the land, it was due to a work ethic. The reason Somalia is the way it is because their culture does not have the same work ethic. It is rife with fraud and corruption. And then they bring that here. That's why we now have, again, not millions, not hundreds of millions, but billions of dollars of fraud here in Minnesota. And I'm going to go to this one here. We have a real problem with judges here in the country right now. This is bad. This is like the problem right now. I mean this with all sincerity. You look at what Trump has tried to do and how much his agenda has been stalled due to judges, in the country right now. And I want you guys to watch this video, local news report. This is the one. A jury has overturned a $7 million fraud case. Or not a jury has overturned. A judge has overturned the jury in this case. And you need to listen to this in its entirety, because you need to listen to the juror at the end.
At the August trial for Abdi Fattah Yusuf, the jury heard evidence that he ran his home health care company, Promise Health, out of a mailbox at a Central Avenue address where multiple other home health care companies were supposedly located. Yusuf and his wife, Lol Ahmed, were charged with stealing $7.2 million of taxpayer money through Medicaid overbilling in a personal care assistant, or PCA, scam. The couple allegedly spent tens of thousands of the fraud money on luxury items for themselves. Despite the jury swiftly convicting Yusuf, Judge Sarah West last week decided they got it wrong.
It's reversing or overturning a jury's verdict.
Defense attorney Joe Tamburino, who's not affiliated with this case, reviewed the decision and analyzed it for KARE 11 News. He says Judge West ruled that the state's case relied heavily on circumstantial evidence and that she believed the state did not rule out other reasonable inferences.
That, in fact, there could have been.
So I want you just to look at this, Judge, just for a second here. Just look at this, okay? This is the greatest problem we are facing right now in America. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it like it is, Mike. It's liberal white women, young liberal white women. You can look right now, and I want to say that it was 80% voted for Mamdani in New York.
Right.
They don't have a husband, so they're trying to co-opt one. And this gets crazier as the story goes on.
Other reasonable theories other than guilt in this case. That's what it comes down to.
Despite the ruling, even Judge West wrote that she is troubled by the manner in which fraud was able to be perpetuated at Promise Health.
I was stunned.
State Representative Kristen Robbins, chair of the House Fraud.
She's troubled, but she just overturned the jury, folks. I just want you to recognize the lunacy of this.
Fraud Prevention and State Oversight Committee says she's now reviewing if any state laws need to be tightened.
We want to strengthen state law so that we can get prosecutions out of these cases, because clearly a jury thought he was guilty.
Jurors.
How is strengthening state law, folks? Answer me this in the chat, please. How is strengthening state law going to change this? Why do Republicans always talk this way? It is freaking driving me nuts, Mike. This is just like they talk about elections. Oh, well, we just need better machines or something. We're not talking about the real argument here. The conviction was under the law.
Right.
Law already convicted them.
Yeah, and this is you talk about judges. Remember, I've said it before, though. Not all judges are corrupt. I think a lot of them are scared. Not this judge. A lot of them are in fear, especially when it comes the other way. When you just talked about machines, voting machines. Look what a judge just did to me in Minneapolis about 3 months ago or 2.5 months ago. Made a decision without even going to jury trial that I was guilty and my pillow was guilty of defamation. This is the other way. How are these judges? What do you have juries for anymore if you're going to do this stuff? If you're going to sit there and this jury before our peers, a trial before our peers, and then a judge just goes, you know what? You don't know what you're doing, jury. I know better. And it's disgusting. And where's the accountability for these judges? This is, the stuff that it's like, this was planned a long time ago. I really believe that, it's once you get this far, now it's like going through mud. It's like going through mud to get to that finish line and get these. But I just don't believe that people are going to stand for it. I think, we're going to, this judge is going to be held accountable, and all judges, they do have to be held accountable. They got to start putting a few of these judges in prison. How do you go against that?
This is exactly the case, Mike. This is what needs to happen. We will not see justice in this country until judges who allow criminals to run free, who commit more heinous crimes, are judged for the crime of letting the criminals go free. Because we're seeing this with the Ukrainian girl who was murdered on the subway with the knife. The guy on the L train who just set a woman on fire. And then these judges, these people have been released multiple times. If you talk to any cop right now, they will tell you the problem is repeat offenders. It's not new people going on and committing these crimes. They're going to the same 80 to 90% of houses again and again and again and again. And they're not in jail.
Right. And Neil, let me just tell you, I there was a big comparison that I seen the other day, and I think it came out of Minnesota. It's a comparison of, I used to own bars in Minnesota. Not a good place for an addict, as everybody knows where I was. But if we overserve people, and these repeat offenders got in a car accident and something terrible happened, you'd be held liable. You'd be held liable. That was all of it. Went down to our Dramshaw laws, and the bar would be held liable, and all this stuff. Well, are these judges not held liable? I mean, it should be the same thing. You're holding people liable down here at this level, but you're not holding them liable at a level that's unprecedented, that we're letting these people go. And it still baffles me that people have been so brainwashed, on the left there, where, how do you not see the horrific, the common sense of not letting these illegals in or getting rid of them in the first place here? It doesn't make sense to me. It's like, what, and then they'll say, well, not all illegals are bad. Well, good for you, Special K, and not all illegals are bad. They're here illegal. They've committed a crime.
Exactly.
You have committed a crime. You already committed a crime. It's like, okay,
no, Mike,
you haven't committed a crime while you committed a crime.
Mike.
You haven't committed a crime while you committed a crime. So we're gonna set our crime level, our bar. You're gonna move the bar and say, you know what, anything from here on down isn't a crime anymore. And you know what? And even if it is a crime, then a judge can overturn that, because a judge can have their own bar. They can put in the bar over here, that little liberal judge there in Minnesota.
Oh, that was a great statement. They can have their own bar, and the bar actually is one of the biggest problems in the country right now.
Wherever they move that bar, they get their own little judgment bar.
Exactly.
Hey, you're not a criminal. You're all right. I know you committed a few other crimes, but that's okay.
Thank you for that super chat, by the way. I gotta put this, Mike, we're gonna get off on other things again. We gotta put this back.
I'm shocked based off of all of the evidence that was.
Okay, guys, this is the jury foreperson talking about, he just found out about, the judge in this case, what the judge did. Listen to this.
I'm shocked based off of all of the evidence that was presented to us and the obvious guilt that we saw based off of the said evidence. It was not a difficult decision whatsoever. The deliberation took probably 4 hours at most. Based off of the state's evidence that was presented, I was beyond a reasonable doubt.
The attorney for Mr. Youssef, Ian Burrell, sent me a statement today that says, in part, Judge West's ruling affirms what we have maintained from the beginning, that our client, Mr. Youssef, was wrongfully accused and did not commit fraud or racketeering. The Attorney General's office filed an appeal this afternoon, so the Minnesota Court of Appeals will take a second look at this decision. Julie.
So, Lou, did Mr. Tamburino, did he have any kind of emotional reaction? And this is pretty stunning. This does not happen.
Yeah, he leaned towards the idea that this was kind of a one-off, and that.
Well, okay, this is really wild. Just listen to the rest of this discussion now. What's really crazy about this, folks, is this is liberal news media reporting on this, and they are surprised by this.
It would have a good chance at appeal, but the worry is that there's so many other cases just like it, where somebody's in the exact same position as Mr. Youssef, but is charged with fraud. And if the judge can determine that maybe they didn't know that the fraud was going on underneath them in the case, then other judges could throw it out just like this one.
All right. Do you know how quickly the Court of Appeals would take this up? Any idea?
Probably months.
All right. Thank you.
Wow. So now, here's the problem right now. Because of all the fraud in Minnesota, a greater microscope is being put on Ilhan Omar. So she's out there in D.C. The whole brother marriage is coming back up. Mm-hmm. The fact that she got her citizenship off a brother marriage shows that was a fraud, because she has 3 kids with her husband, and she had those kids at that time, I believe, of the brother marriage. So it's obvious the marriage was fake. So therefore, the ability to become a citizen was fake. I'm going to show you another clip from a DEI judge. I've got a little background feed coming off of you, Mike. I don't know why that is. It's paying like on the phone or something, but I'm hearing my voice a second time. But I'm going to share this. This is a DEI judge here, and I'll give you more about her and who she let free. But I need you to watch this.
Serve as Vice President for the Office of Inclusion, Diversity, and Equal Opportunity.
The first time I came out on the bench and the deputy announced, all rise, the Honorable Judge Teresa Molina, the whole courtroom stood up and I was all excited. He's walking out there. And I saw an Illinois State Trooper. He was African American. He had a sleeve covering his tattoos. And he was standing there and he looked at me and he nodded. And I knew what that meant. And so I looked at him and I nodded back like, that's right, we're doing this.
Are you kidding me? Folks, she is excited about her ability to racially profile and judge people differently. Watch, because you'll see the rest of this.
And it felt so good. It felt so good. So to me, a fine of $354, which is our normal no insurance fine, that's a lot of money. And some of the judges that I work with came from money, so $354 is no big deal. But to most of the people that come to my courtroom, it is a big deal. And so I always offer them the opportunity to do community service. You know, being a Latina in the office, people would tell me, like, don't you feel like you're prosecuting your own people? But it's true. There were a lot of, defendants that look like me. However, I had a chance as a prosecutor to make a difference as to what cases come in. I had a chance as a prosecutor to...
Look at that. She is saying that she can basically protect people who look like her.
Right.
Who look like her. This is insanity. And she's so excited about it. I mean,
No.
how many of you would want to go in front of this judge, yes or no, in the chat, just out of curiosity? Please do smash that like. Do chat in with where you're from as well.
Decide what offers were appropriate. And so I always offer them the opportunity to do community service.
Yeah, I'm going to say something. You brought it up just a few minutes ago. All this stuff has brought, like Elon Omar with her brother and everything, to light. You guys, as we're sitting right now, remember, evil is greedy. This is so important. I want everyone to get this point. Everyone can sit and get all frustrated. This is so nonsensical. This is so crazy. This judge let this person off. This is what we need to open people's eyes. I'm telling you, these are all good things. And here's why they're good things. I believe they're good things because it's getting everybody upset and say, hey, we need to relook at this. Even people that are in the middle, when you talk politics, even people that are a little middle left. This is so bizarre that nobody wants this garbage. Evil is greedy, and they overplay their hand again, and they're going to continue to play it in Minnesota. What they're doing, they're overplaying their hand. It's like a double down. I mean, they just double down and they're going, okay, all this stuff that's coming out that people are going to relook at again and go, wait a minute, why wasn't anything done about Elon Omar, 4, 5, 6, 8 years ago, and people are going to look at this now. So I view this as a good thing. And what we have now, Neil, just like your program here, just like your show, what we have now that we didn't have 5 years ago, everybody, when they tried to silence us forever, we have a voice. So we have a voice, and it needs to go far and wide. And like you just said, Neil, even the liberal left-wing media is picking some of this up because it's so crazy. Nobody wants
nuts.
This stuff. Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. And you guys, it's going to be, we just got to keep spreading the word about this. And then, here's the problems. And then here's the solutions where you get this crossover. But right now, I mean, when I heard about this and as it keeps unfolding here, how else are you going to weed out all these corrupt judges if you don't have some nonsensical, crazy judge like this trying to set a precedence? Oh, the jury. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to overturn the jury's verdict. Give me a break.
Overturn the jury's verdict.
Yeah. Or I'm going to be a judge and I'm going to play favorites to this person, this person, this person. And you know what? I know you have hardship. So you get community service. Go ahead and commit a crime. Come into my court. You can get community service.
Do I was going to bring something else in, but I want to share this video really quick, folks. This is Donald Trump. This is back in September of 21 when the Republicans voted along with the Democrats to run this Afghan refugee resettlement program through. And I want you to hear Donald Trump be a prophet right now. And I'm going to go grab something really quick, but watch this quick video.
Nobody knows who the hell they are, Cheryl. These aren't the interpreters that we taught. These were people that rushed into the planes, and they were so interested in trying to make it sound like, oh, they're doing a good job. These people, many of these people are going to be terrorists, okay? They're going to be terrorists. They were very powerful. They were very energetic in getting onto the aircraft.
They say they're vetting them very carefully with biometrics and documentation.
They're not doing that, and you can't because there is no documentation in that country.
You can't because there is no documentation. He predicted this. This is another example of Donald Trump being right again, folks. And so whether it's Afghan, Somalian, whatever, if we don't have a thorough vetting process, again, I'll say this again, I have no problem with immigration. I have no problem with legal immigration where we have people who can come here and benefit the country. I have a very big problem. This is not immigration, folks. These are illegal invaders, illegal aliens, and people who have been funneled here by NGOs across the world at the behest of the UN, which our former administration wanted to work closely with. And then if you go back to the administration before the first Trump administration, really created the downfall of this country. People still don't understand just how evil Obama was and what he did to destroy this country. Right. It's absolutely mind-numbing. And we're gonna talk a little bit more here about the fraud in Minnesota. But Mike, first, we're gonna mention what's going on at promo code Lumberjack on MyPillow.
Right on, you guys. And remember, this all comes back to stolen elections and securing our elections, which then MyPillow, because I spoke out, became the most attacked company in history. And I want to announce right here that because of your audience and many others out there, MyPillow is here. It's still here by the grace of God. So we're giving back with these Black Friday specials. Free shipping. This is an exclusive, you guys, for promo code Lumberjack. Go to mypillow.com/Lumberjack. You see the pillows for $14.98, our famous MyPillows. The slippers, normally $50 or $149.98, they're $59.98, now $39.98, and you get a free leather spray. All the blankets that came in stock.
All right,
5 different
hold on
kinds.
a sec, Mike. Oh, baby, look what I just got, Mike. I got the waffle blanket. These are on sale right now. These things are made with Giza freaking cotton, Mike.
Yeah. They're
Giza.
Guys. You can't. These blankets, get them. They're the best gifts ever. I want to say this too, that what we did for today is I extended, because I want you all to get your Christmas gifts here at MyPillow. And we're running this through Cyber Monday, and get all these specials. But I want you to get all your gifts and be comfortable when they open them, because we're extending our 60-day money-back guarantee to March 1st of 2026. So you can, any problems you have, size anything, you're good to go on that. Remember, plus your 10-year warranties. But you guys, we've got so many gifts here that we put on sale. The kitchen towels, all the, get yourself a gift. I was surprised, Neil. I put the mattress toppers on sale with free shipping, and everyone was buying mattress toppers. And normally that's not a gift to get at Christmas. I think people are getting their gifts for themselves early, so they get that great night's sleep for the Christmas and all the relatives coming over. You want to feel refreshed and you want to feel good and spending time with your loved ones and feel this precious time, the time we're living now. So you really need that promo code Lumberjack, you guys. And call my reps. They're on duty right now. 800-568-2865. You guys, they look forward to this time of year. Their moms, dads working from home that the government tried to stop them from doing just a few years ago, and we won that in court with at least a few judges out there made some normal decisions, but we won that. So call them up, and this is how they're able to work from home and take your calls, and you get someone that speaks English on the phone. What a concept.
Okay, I got to tell a quick story, Mike. So this is right. You get people who speak English when you call. Now, do you remember, Mike, how we were all upset about how we were always given foreign operators?
Yeah.
Really crazy story. I was stranded on the road. Well, not me. My son was stranded on the road with the truck, and he called, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to call the insurance company because I have towing coverage, right? I called the insurance company to get my towing coverage activated, and do you know what I got? Take a guess.
A foreign operator.
No, Mike. See, we complained about foreign operators, so corporate America decided we'll do you one better. We'll give you AI.
Oh,
I got AI. I'm not kidding. My son's stranded on the road, and I've got AI that doesn't know what the heck I'm talking about.
Oh, my God.
And they're supposed to be getting me a tow truck? Are you kidding me? This is how bad it is. And so I'm not a big fan of corporate America, meaning all these public companies, because they always put in these DEI boards, and the whole thing becomes only about profit. It doesn't
Right.
become at all about serving the customer. One of the things I like about MyPillow, Mike, is like if people have a customer service problem, they can call your customer service line, and you guys
Absolutely.
take care of stuff right now.
It's the biggest part of my company, you guys. I view every customer like my only customer. This goes back to years ago. I would, if I had heard this one little boy in Wisconsin, he wasn't going to get his birthday present in time. It was a MyPillow, and it wasn't our fault. The shipping company had not got it there. It got somewhere, was lost. I drove like, I think 9 hours, almost halfway to Green Bay to deliver this present in time. But that's, that's just who I am and who my company is now. If you view, I always give entrepreneurs advice out there. If you have a business, view every customer like your only customer, or every show. Back when I did shows on the road with MyPillow, I viewed every show. What if this was my only show? What if this is all I had? Because back then, that's all I had. There was a time I had 1 or 2 customers, and boy, you treat them like that they're your only customer, and customer service is so important. And you're going to see a lot of companies, if they're going that way of these teleprompters, press 1 if you have a big problem, press 2 if it's really big problem, press 3 if it's huge, and then you get a robot going, how big is your problem? Press, it's disgusting.
Yeah, by the way, I just, folks, if you're watching the chat, I don't do it often, but I just banned THIPZE2RX and their comments. I don't need those kinds of disgusting comments. Okay. If somebody has a problem with Netanyahu, they can speak in normal language. Okay. Right. Give me a break. This is so ridiculous. I can't even believe these people comment like that.
Right. And you guys also remember, you get a lot of bots. This is the time we're in. You get a lot of bots and trolls out there. I always get it on mine, and I'll sit and all you got to do is see how many friends they have. They're probably not even real. They're doing it to upset you, Neil. They're doing it to upset you.
Oh, I know.
And then when they were real back in the day, I'd be bored at night, in the middle of the night, and I'd be arguing with these bots. Come on, I know you're a bot.
Look at that. Lisa got a cardboard cutout picture with you one time, Mike. All right, I got to get back into the news here. Okay, so I'm going to bring in. I've got some images from X that I had pulled, and I want to share with you. So we have this foreign money problem, right? And I want you to look at this. Eli Crane, I think he's one of the good guys out in Congress. I've interviewed him, met his family. He's a quality guy, folks. And proud to be a co-sponsor. Did you guys even know this was going on? Your tax dollars are being used to help illegal aliens get abortions. No American should ever have their tax dollars used to shuttle illegal aliens across state lines for abortions.
Wow.
This is nuts. Okay, so I don't even understand how this is legal at all, okay, to begin with. All right, on to the next one. Libs of TikTok. Somalians in Minnesota inflated their autism rates to get more Medicaid funding, which was then funneled to Al-Qaeda affiliate Al-Shabaab, who are responsible for the most U.S. deaths than any other terror affiliate. How is this not the biggest story right now? Folks, if you don't understand what's going on, the autism rates were inflated so they could get more government funding through Medicaid. But this is the kicker. Data Republican responded, and she's a great follow on X, but not to mention they're one of the top reasons we have Somali refugees in the first place. Talk about a self-licking ice cream cone. So Al-Shabaab, see, this is why they're getting these refugee resettlements, is partly because of Al-Shabaab tearing the country apart. Now, what's really interesting is Ilhan Omar was her family was part of the governing body of Somalia. So we're talking about the person who the family that perpetuates the fraud in Somalia, working hand in hand with Al-Shabaab, then getting over here due to the persecution of the government in Al-Shabaab. That's Ilhan Omar. And so now this is just nuts. I mean, talk about a self-licking ice cream cone, man. This is insane. And then I posted something the other day, and one of my people, not a bot, Mike, responded to me and got a little upset with me because the Republicans did a performative vote talking about condemning something. Lord only knows. I mean, they're always doing this. I condemn this. And then Chuck Schumer responds, I'm leading a resolution in the Senate to reject Nick Fuentes and his white supremacist views. Anti-Semitism and white supremacy have growing and disturbing currency within the right. We must all condemn. Okay, performative votes to condemn anti-Semitism or to condemn, I don't care what it is. I don't need this stuff condemned. I can condemn it myself. I need you to actually do things that put these people who are committing real crimes behind bars. I don't care what Nick Fuentes says. I don't listen to him.
Right.
I think he's an idiot. Okay? I don't need to listen to him. And this is to your point. So here's Republicans against Trump. Big account on X. There's literally Brittany Ray said this, there's literally no Republicans against Trump because they're in Austria, folks. So X did this new thing where you can now see the country of origin. And just like you were saying, Mike, these bots, trolls, and whatever.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not real. And they or they're paid, at the time. At the time when I was first attacked in the summer of 2020, when I had a supplement for the virus, China virus, that was one of the biggest attacks. Back then, I'm going, what is this? Why? And we find out then, and then in the spring of 21, when I went after the voting machine companies, there's actually hired bot farm. They just sit there and they're typing this, and they've gotten pretty good at it too on Facebook, especially where you now go to check to see if it's a bot, and you got to scroll pretty far down. Maybe they'll have some pictures they'll act like they're not a bot. They got 6 friends or whatever. And but people buy into that. What was funny is back then and even now, there was a time where they could put out this complete hate against Donald Trump. All the way down, you're going, what is 99% of the people don't like our president? Or, this is right at the end of 2020. And they can't do that anymore, everybody, because people are onto it. And you have this big wave of the real people finally speaking up and going, hey, but a lot of them are still, they'll argue with these bots. But once again, it's bringing common sense to the table because all these bots are, you could bash you could bash me back then and everyone's going, okay, the only advantage I had is people knew what I was prior to all these attacks. So they're going, wait a minute, did Mike just turn into a zombie? And when all of a sudden he's a conspiracy theorist, you know what I mean? And, but the,
well, to that point, Mike, you're 100% right. Look at this one. This is breaking. Massive expose on X reveals that 50% of the most vicious anti-Israel hate and genocide rhetoric is coming from foreign-based accounts, overwhelmingly Muslim users flooding the platform. Translation, the loudest from the river to the sea chanters aren't even American. Most Americans aren't buying the Nazi 2.0 blood libel against Jews. It was never the majority. It was always a coordinated noise campaign from people who openly celebrate death to America in the same breath. The silent majority just got receipts. So this is, Mike, so I'm going to actually kind of meld this into voting now, because exactly what you're talking about, when you can create fake bots, trolls, whatever, that go around. And so this would be very similar to vote harvesting. Because these people are taking and they're replying to these accounts, and they're all from one location, and they're using all these different devices, and they're spamming out all these things, just like people when they do these drop boxes, and they're all just their friends and family, only they've got 20 and whatever. It's just wild. What's happening is basically the exact same methods that a bot farm uses, which is fake engagement. It's fake engagement votes.
Absolutely. And they do that. And where you get people even that are sitting on a fence going, well, hey, maybe this is okay. You can also do it both ways. Like I'm watching this happen right now with Tim Walz, all these things you get. If you look at a pro Walz page, because I always go, I go deep into the well, and I make comments like David Pac-Man. I go, David, you won't have me on your show anymore, because you're afraid of the truth, But you look at all these bots that come on there, and and they'll just go all the way down, and they're painting this picture that somehow he's good, that everything's good with him. It's so they can do both this, and I think they're even doing more than that right now than they are the bad stuff over here, the Trump act. Everybody's on to this kind of, it's like, but now there's another way as you're going, okay, to hide the truth, you're saying all these lies over here, good things about this person, this evil man, and this, and these things that are going on, that are really going on. You know, you can hide it both ways. You can attack, which I think everybody's kind of onto, you know what I mean? The nonsense. How do you attack this? Or you put this good over here to cover it up.
Well, here, I'm going to share another video. So this is that Representative Jayapal or whatever her name is. And it's talking about foreign aid. Now, just a quick comment here in my audience. I think most of you are on the same board. Stephanie, good to see you on the stream today. Thank you for modding for me. Lisa as well. But thank you for being on. I want to share this, though. This is this video from Jayapal. How many of you in my audience believe that foreign aid has just gone way too far? So there's a lot of Democrats screaming about USAID. And now the big thing is, you'll see there's posts everywhere about this, how all these people have died because Donald Trump stopped USAID funding. Okay. And here's Jayapal in the U.S. House asking some questions about this.
What is the status of each of those U.S. funded programs related to religious tolerance? If you could share a list of that with me, I would really appreciate it.
She must be talking about Muslim nations tolerating Christians. I'm assuming. I'm sorry.
And what new assistance programs should we expect that the administration, maybe you can speak to this part, that the administration is going to promote? That's the second part of the question. And then the third part of the question for you is, I am concerned about some of the reports I'm hearing that certain programs are just going to be cut because they focus on particular communities, or they, are framed in a way that somehow is part of a some sham DEI initiative. And so maybe you could speak to those last two and get me the list of the first one.
All DEI is a sham.
Sure. So I'm happy to follow up with the committee on specific program we have across Africa. The administration is committed to using its foreign assistance effectively and strategically, and gets the most bang for its buck for American taxpayers, because ultimately we're responsible to the American taxpayers. So in terms of programming, I'm happy to get you the specific answers that you're looking for. In terms of the other questions you raised about specific communities being having greater assistance, I forget how you phrased it, more targeted programs. We want religious freedom for all communities, full stop. We don't want religious freedom for some communities. We want religious freedom for all religious communities, including those who don't practice faith. We think it's a violation of a moral law that somebody is killed because of their faith. We see that happening in all parts of the world, and the Trump administration is committed to helping countries take ownership of their own issues and actually go after people who persecute Christians and Muslims and people of all faiths, and actually shift the responsibility to where we want to help partner with these countries. But at the end of the day, the countries themselves have an obligation to protect religious freedom in their countries. And
I agree with you on what you said. I just would say I'd like to see the data that backs up what you're saying.
So, folks, the Trump administration's take on this, which is the same as mine, is so Trump is America first, right? He sees American interests as superior to other national interests because he's the president of the United States of America. Seems to just make sense. Other nations need to see their national interests as that above that of the United States. That is the job of the president of those countries. If everybody acted in that way, this is just like when you go into negotiation in business, Mike. You go in there, you're looking for a win-win, but you have certain reasons you're getting involved in that negotiation. Okay. So when I was negotiating contracts back in the day, when I was doing business to business sales, I would always be looking, I'm bringing in profit for our company. Okay. Now I want the other company to benefit because, if they benefit, they keep buying my product. But this would be like, if some country has rare earth minerals, Trump's going to negotiate us buying these rare earth minerals at the best price. and then the other country benefits because they get money. Okay, so if everybody acted in their own, this is the lie that says that you're supposed to always act in the interests of these other nations, and that's somehow going to benefit your. No, he has to act in the interests of our nation, which will then benefit the other nations and us.
Yeah, and I want to say something to that. I've been with them a couple different times where they, like you say, you also have to, you want them to make it too, and he's got a gift of balancing that. In fact, he's told me a couple different stories where he got such a good deal, it would have made, these guys wouldn't have made it, so he had to rebalance the deal, go, no, you need to get more. I mean, this guy, you know what I mean? He's that smart and has that gift where, when you're in this negotiation, it's like, hey, he's not just gonna, you're first over here, but you're looking at, hey, I've got to make this right here so that they make it, so then it benefits us here. There's a little more to it.
I've done that.
Yeah,
I've sold deals, and I'm like, whoa, wait, we have to structure this differently, so that you actually can benefit from this, because right now the deal's too slanted to me. And you have to do that at times, because that's in your best interest as well, to keep them as customers down the road. Otherwise, it doesn't work. I mean, you're just short term. You can't.
I think they're coming into, you're going to see a few little problems, and I'm just looking into that with the tariffs, and like some that have been lifted. I just heard about the one like on coffee in Brazil. I've also heard now that they lift the tariffs, but that either the coffee makers, the country, whatever's going, hey, we're just going to keep that money, so it's not going to trickle. You follow me?
Yep.
And there's going to be another. You guys, you're hearing this first. You're going to hear about this, especially with coffee. There's a big problem right now. Where the coffee, these tariffs have been lifted because obviously you can't grow coffee here. So the president looks at stuff going, hey, this is a problem. And well, now if you lift the tariffs and the corruption out there says, hey, we're going to keep those prices high, rake in all this money, and still, and the consumer still ends up paying, or the manufacturers that are making it, the breweries are still are getting the high prices. Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
That's going to end up being a problem. I just got a little sidetracked there, but it's just
that's okay. You brought up something very interesting, though, Mike.
Yeah, there you go. And the reason I know about this, I just reached out and said, hey, can the beans be cheaper now? Because we have the best coffee in the world. There's nothing better than my coffee. I'll put it against any coffee ever in history. And we just got the coffee that we have on sale. You guys get free shipping on your orders, and all of our stuff for Black Friday and Cyber Monday here is
there it is.
We put all this on sale. There's the coffee, you save 50%. You guys, there is no better coffee. Where I came, my coffee came into existence. I was going around in 21 and 22. Remember, I was living in basically hotels all over the country, meeting with politicians to try and save our country from these voting machines and the corruption. Well, every morning, different hotel, different this, all these different coffees, and heck, I get back to Minnesota one day, and they got all these products for me to try, and one of them was coffee. And I go, you know what? I've tried enough coffees or whatever. They go, no, you really need to try this, Mike. And I tried it. I'm going, whoa, this is different. So
it's low acid.
Yeah, I didn't stop there. I went down to this brewery. It's in Florida, and I met the owners, and I met them, and we brought them to a whole new level. I said, you know what? I'm going to get behind this. I went through and showed how coffee is made and the different processes they use that no one else uses. And like you probably know more about it than I do, Neil. I know you're a coffee connoisseur, and you've dove into my coffee. Tell us, why is it so good? You just said the no acid.
Well, it's low acid. I mean, so it's easier for people who have problems drinking coffee. And it's also just smooth. It doesn't have that. It doesn't have as much bitterness. One of the things I found out about coffee, this was at a Student Action Summit event, because some people were selling coffee there. They had some really good coffee too. I'll give them kudos. They roasted theirs infrared, but they said one of the issues with coffee is that they are allowed a certain amount of mold in the beans.
Wow.
So most of this coffee the beans have mold in them, and that's one of the reasons it's upsetting your stomach. And so when you get some of these low acid or better grade coffees, like a My Coffee, you're not getting that. And so do you pay more for it? Well, yes. I mean, if you want to go buy Maxwell House, the worst coffee in the world, off the shelf, you can get it for less money. But do you want to enjoy your coffee, or do you just want to drink coffee? I just don't understand the point of drinking bad coffee. To me, it's like dirty dishwater. So I have no interest in drinking bad coffee.
Well, this is the best coffee in the world, everybody. And I'm going to say why you still have that up there. You guys, the My Crosses, they all came in the men's and women's. It's the best Christmas gift ever. Now that I'm looking at that on the screen, you're saving 50%, you guys. And they just came in a week ago. So we have all the sizes, we have the men and women's in the mother of pearl look, and then the black like I wear. And you guys get those best Christmas gifts ever. And they are going fast. That was a Christmas allotment we got. A lot of this stuff we got a week ago, and once they're gone, they're going to be gone for a while, like all the blankets. And you guys get that Rev 7. There's no better energy drink than that. There's your favorite.
That's what I was just going to say. I would disagree, Mike. If you want the best Christmas gift you can get for anybody, get them some Visa sheets. And I'm going to make an appeal to you right now. I know that your liberal friends and relatives can be upsetting, and they seem like they're off their rocker. Maybe, folks, they're just not getting a good night's sleep. They need some Visa sheets.
That's right. Yeah, and people don't realize that back in the day, my pillow was equal, everybody, on CNN, Fox, and MSNBC. This is back before I even got involved with the voting machines and politics and everything. So all people want the best sleep in history, right? So it's funny. You're sitting around the holidays there, and you're hungry. You get them those gifts. They might look at you and go, and it might make a big scene. Oh, that pillow guy, whatever. That they'll have this preconceived notion of me. But once they've slept on that pillow and those Giza Dream Sheets, they might deny that they're using them, but they're going to use them.
That's right.
That is for
oh,
sure.
gosh.
This
is funny. Sure. Hey, somebody, he must be running for Congress here. We've got Gregorio Heist for Congress.
Okay, on number beds. Mike, does your sheet fit on number beds? That's a good question. We have deep pocket sheets. I solved every single problem. We have the split kings, by the way. Yes, we have split kings. Those sizes came in where you have the split the sleep number beds where they're one or the other where you need split kings. And then but anyway, we also have their deep pockets. So I don't care how thick those mattresses are, you'll be able to make that bed with deep pockets. When I helped develop these sheets years ago, and I wanted not only the best sleeping sheet, but when you invent something or improve on something, you microsolve. And it always bugged me. I couldn't get the sheet over the mattress on these, making a bed. And I'm going, we're going to have, and plenty of top sheet. I like to be able to pull that up without pulling it from the bottom of the bed. And then you get that with the greatest sleep ever. So,
well, you just sold some sheets, Mike. Hey, and I'm going to show you, this guy's running for Congress. So I looked him up. There he is. There you go. He's running for Congress in Texas. Look at this. Veteran patriot fighter about Gregorio. Was born in March 1967, San Francisco, California. Sorry about that, Gregorio. To parents who immigrated from Santiago, Chile, and pursue the American dream. Okay, work ethic, patriotism, secure our borders, America first, supporting veterans, faith in God, fiscal responsibilities, and family values. And I'm going to guess that Gregorio, Mr. Family Value guy here, is not in favor of men in women's sports. But
right. And another thing, too, I'm going to tell anybody that's out there running right now, we did a poll in Minnesota, everybody, and it moved up to number 3. This is in Minnesota, and of what people are concerned about. Elections, secure elections, i.e. paper ballots, same-day voting, voter ID, little things like that. So if you're running out there, my advice to you, you add this to your little things you're going to do, education and, and economy and all this. We know we're all concerned about that. But you better be concerned, just like our president said 4 days ago, everybody, our number one, he said the number one biggest concern we have right now is securing our elections. And Elon Musk seconded that. If you see what Elon Musk said on his, he threw out an X saying, hey, we got to get rid of these machines. We got to have paper ballots, hand counted, same day voting, no mail-in voting, voter ID, precinct level. You guys, this is it. So if you're running, it really kind of, all these people that are out there running, this goes with both sides, everybody, and that's the way you should project it. Hey, I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. We're all people. I think we can all live with who gets elected and not selected. It's really important, everybody. So important. It's the most important thing.
Okay, somebody asked, is there a link for coffee? Yeah, it's right on the mypillow.com/lumberjack. Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's there it is right there.
This right here. And I'll just go up here, Command C. I'm going to put it right in here for you. Okay. You can also call the 800 number. I tell people call the 800 number. I don't want to live in an AI society, but 1-800-568-2865. So you can get the coffee right there. And then you know what else? You can get some other things. Like I just got some of these socks, but I didn't get these ones. I got the merino wool socks.
Yeah. There's compression ones. There's all kinds of. You guys, we have so many different products. We have over 250 products now. This is the biggest seller so far, you guys, of this Christmas and Thanksgiving season here. This is we bring it back once a year. The Children's Bible Story Pillows. You get 5 Christmas gifts for $29.98. Now you would have paid shipping, but the shipping's free. It's on me. It's on my employees. You guys, 5. You get 5. They're all individually wrapped. So you get for $20, that's $6, under $6 a piece for the best gifts ever. You get the My Pillow to sleep on, and then you get your grandkids, even for anybody. Here's your Noah's Ark, and you flip it over, and you read the story on the back of it. It's amazing. There it is, right there. There it is.
Jonah and the whale.
You know what I like about Neil, everybody? He actually practices when he preaches. When he gets behind, he does it. I love that about you.
These are awesome. I'm giving these to my grandkids for Christmas.
Yeah.
There was 5 in the pack. I have 4 grandkids. My firstborn has 4 kids. So this one's for me.
Right on. And everybody remember, and here's the thing. These are so functional. It's my most functional product. We use it for for your back, for sitting on. They're so compact. You use them for sleeping. You're going to a hotel, you put them right on top of the hotel pillow. You can wash and dry them. 10-year warranty. You guys, you can't. The products we have at My Pillow will change your life, and it's a win-win-win-win. And
no. It's a win-win-win-win. This is a quadruple dip, Mike. I figured this out.
Okay.
Because here's what happens. You get to support a great American patriot business that actually likes you, okay, that's fighting for secure elections. You get great products, the best products. Those Giza sheets, I'm telling you, I don't care what other sheets are out there. There is no better sheets.
No, they're not.
It's ridiculous. I didn't even know sheets were a thing till then. So you get the best products. You also get the best deals because you got promo code Lumberjack, okay? You get to support this show. And then on top of that, you're getting free shipping. This is not a quadruple. That'd be only 4. This is a quintuple dip, my friend.
Right, a quintuple, right.
So anyhow, I want to share another video.
I'll even give you a 6th one, everybody. If anything, this has been one of the hardest years of my life. And we've gotten through we've gotten through with My Pillow. But remember, anything that has trickled down to me is I'm an employee too, and I'm one of the stockholders, but anything trickles down to me, you know what I do with it? I spend it on saving our country and securing our election. So that's whether that's paying back people I owe now to get it, or fighting lawsuits, or whatever I'm doing, it comes down to save our country.
Yes. I'm going to share another video. This is Slotkin. So I want you to remember the seditious 6, just before the Afghan refugee shot our brave National Guardsman and woman. The woman is now dead, unfortunately. But just before this is Alyssa Slotkin. She's former CIA. I want you guys to remember this. This lady is former CIA, and I want you to watch what she had to say at the Brookings Institute.
As a CIA officer, the idea that intelligence officers could be asked to target Americans turns my stomach, and it would shift us into a modern-day surveillance state. Turning the federal government against Trump's enemies goes hand in hand with his use of force in American cities, both federal law enforcement and the military.
Okay. Again, a lot of these people are not even Americans. I'm just going to make that point real quick. And the other thing is we need to reestablish law and order from Democrat-run cities that are not allowing criminals to be prosecuted. Don't forget, we just covered earlier, a jury decision, a jury deliberation that only took 4 hours because the evidence was so good, now overturned in the fraud case in Minneapolis.
As of today, the president has attempted to deploy more than 7,000 National Guard members across 5 cities, including right here in Washington. In August, the administration ordered the creation of 2 new National Guard units, a standing quick reaction force that can deploy anywhere in the country, and then separately, National Guard units in all 50 states focused on quelling so-called civil disturbances. At this point, Trump has been very clear about his intent. At Quantico, speaking as commander-in-chief, he instructed his military brass to use cities as, quote, training grounds. And many times, he's floated the idea of invoking the Insurrection Act so that military units can raid, detain, and arrest Americans. The president has already deployed ICE and other federal law enforcement to these same cities across America. In some cases, these federal officers are playing fast and loose with their tactics, which sooner or later could lead to a deadly escalation. The videos out of Chicago are shocking.
Deadly escalation.
Wow. I got to quick say this before I forget, and I know we're getting running out of time too, but you guys, I just, I've done, as I'm considering here running for Minnesota governor, one of the biggest disturbing things, which I know that I can help secure and fix, is the city of Minneapolis. When you get what's coming to Minneapolis, when I went down there at meetings the other day, all these empty buildings, and whether it's retail or whether it's business offices or whatever, you don't have to go too far, just halfway across the country, I guess you do. And that's Portland. Okay, they just showed Portland going when they're saying, oh, Portland's a safe city. But you know what? It's safe, it's empty. This lady did a thing. She walked down the streets and there's no business. It's gone. They're just, it's like, if you ever seen the movie Escape from New York back in the day or whatever, I think it was the name of it. You're just one step away from these gangs, like just its own little thing. It's just empty. It's like all these empty buildings. And it's like, what is so sad to see that, yeah, it's safe because no one's walking the streets. There's nobody there. And you're losing your retail, you're losing your businesses. That's where Minneapolis is a step behind. It's not going to take long. We're at a turning point in history here. And all these cities, if the president, what he's doing right now to clean up these cities and make them safe, if it goes beyond that, you're going to have all these Portlands. And that, right now you have many Chicagos and whatever out there. All you could go to any of these big Democrat cities, but they can be made safe real fast, and he's already shown that. The mayor of before this horrific thing in Washington D.C., even the mayor had come out months ago and said, "Hey, this is working here." And she welcomed it.
Yeah, Muriel
Bowser. That's
Bowser.
a Democrat mayor, everybody. And if you got this. You can't listen to this this media out there going, "Oh, look at Chicago, look at this." Yeah, why don't you take your cameras to Portland and see this is what it is. You want a safe city? How about just an empty city, with tumbleweeds rolling through your city?
I don't know if you heard, Mike, but so I've got a friend. He's a banker, and they were involved in a participation loan. I told that story one time just about how badly that went due to crime and whatnot. But one of the skyscrapers in downtown Minneapolis just sold. And I can't remember which one it is, but it sold for $6 million, Mike.
Wow. Yeah.
$6 million.
$6 million.
It's a vacant building. I mean,
it's a vacant building.
I don't think people even understand that. If you wanted to build a skyscraper like this, one of these 84 skyscrapers, or 90 or 100 floor, how much that would cost today, and it sold for $6
million. Yeah.
It's a tax, it's a liability because the real estate taxes on it are so much that they can't even make money off the rent.
Right.
So,
And this is there's a lot of things you know, like I say, if I do, and you guys, it's 99%, I'm gonna, and if I do, there's many things, I have many pretty problem solutions that I've had for a long time to get the retail back and to get these empty buildings filled up, because you can, what they wasted $6 million right now, Neil. That's what they did. It's a waste. $6 million. What do you have it for if it's empty? You know.
Well,
you know.
To make this even a little bit more interesting, Mike, as we close out this show, I think, and I'll say this much for you in running for governor, we have a real financial crisis in this state. Okay, we have all these billions going out to fraud.
Right.
We have a state budget that had a surplus that's now in deficit. And Mike, you're the one guy who has actually been in real problems with deficit spending at your company. And you, I mean, all reality, I just want you people to think about this. If you have someone who's faced as much political and financial persecution as Mike has and been able to stand up during that and keep his company going, this is one of the reasons why you need to go buy the product now. Like the Giza sheets, you just got those in, but before they were out, because you are constantly managing a cash flow scenario because you don't have the lines of credit. So you can't just order on advance and then, you know, expect the sales to come in. That's not how the deal works for you anymore. So
right. So we've had to learn whole new ways of doing business when we were attacked by our own government, much less all these other attacks. But you guys, you know, they're just going into these specials. So many of these things we had to come up with the cash. They just got in. Like we talk about the crosses. You talk about the dog beds, you guys. We finally have the large dog beds. We were out for like 4 or 5 months because we couldn't get the fabric. We had to pay cash for the fabric. So then you weigh, hey, I have this much cash for this and this much cash for this to get us through. And you can see, you know, it was our faith, getting us through. And but you guys, you got to check that out. We've got those dog beds in that you guys have all waited for. And, you know, we have the best pet beds in history. You can take our pet beds and mix them all up with other pet beds. Your dog or cat's going to pick my pillow every time. And so a lot of these, and we're, you know, you've got all these, you know, there's the smooth toe socks too. The other socks, we got all this stuff made in the USA. You know, the best energy drink ever. There, your best coffee ever. Look at that. There, he got it up in time. Neil, scroll down. There it is, right there, you guys. The kitchen towel and accessories. Look at those prices, you guys. These we got them just for this time right now of year. You got Christmas coming up. Get all those kitchen towels. You're getting them for wholesale costs. They're wholesale prices, you guys. They're the best kitchen towels ever. They actually work. They absorb. They do what they're supposed to do. And you know, we have oven mitts, aprons, all these different things, you guys. And that was this is all new that came in there. And then there you go, these oven mitts. People go, my pillow's got oven mitts. Yeah, you know, and we expanded horizontally, but then realized when we did that, then we had to contract it back because we're paying gas. You know, when you said, Neil, it's been like an art. We've had to learn so much during these attacks of, hey, you know, every morning, you know, hey, can we get the kitchen stuff in by Tuesday? We'll pay cash for this over here to get the Giza in this day. You know, all these different things. It's like running this massive, you know, it's kind of, it's something I've never, you know, did I want to go through it these last 2 years? I didn't really want to, but we did, and we learned so much from it, you guys. It's kind of like I've all told you back in 2012 when we got so big so fast and took in $100 million and we're $6 million in debt. You've all heard that story. There's different, I think I went through every facet of businesses now, and to be able, what if this ever happens? What if this ever happened? And so they, You know, we're still here by the grace of God and because of all you guys supporting my pillow. So, but anyway, go ahead.
Do you know, here's this Gregorio Ice for Congress. He wants us to come to Dallas, Texas, Mike. You're down in Texas a lot anyways, but
Yeah.
Gregorio, I'll tell you this much. I don't know. I'm going to say something. I want to say something about these mitts really quick. These are really nice mitts. They got the silicone and everything on them. 2 for $14.99. That's a phenomenal deal. So you guys can find all kinds of deals here on the MyPillow site.
Yeah.
But Gregorio, I don't know if you're just making all your campaign decisions yourself, running the campaign, whatnot. But I'm going to tell you something. Republican consultants are the dumbest people on the face of God's green earth. I mean this with all sincerity. So if you're getting these typical campaign consultants, you're wasting your money. I just want to tell you that right now. The other thing is, Mike, I used to do a lot of video work. I did in 1 year, I did 100 different corporate explainer videos and bio videos for all these companies. I mean, I've got tons of video production stuff down there, and I'm going to do more of it this year again. Because my daughter got into visual arts and communications, and she's doing photography and videography. She's doing college and high school. And so I'm going to be doing more of that this year. So Gregorio, if you want to reach out to me, if you need some video production done, I might be able to help you with that. But you gotta do things different, because these Republican consultants, they're stupid. They're stupid. That's all I got to say about that.
Is he in Dallas County? I wonder if he's in Dallas County. I want to tell everybody that we have here in Texas. Let me tell you guys that this needs to be spread far and wide. There's 5 counties now in Texas, 5 county, huge Dallas County, that are going to go without the machines and paper ballots during the primaries. So you're going to have your real people winning or losing. You're going to have a real election with no machines. Wow, he is in Dallas County. I mean, Greg, you got a great advantage there. It's going to set a precedence for not having machines and paper ballots hand counted, at least in the primaries. And we're going to use Dallas County for an example to the country. So there is you get his contact and stuff, because I will be in Dallas County at some point, definitely, with my team. So
Congressional District 30.
Right. Yeah. But you guys, this will set a precedence for our country with Dallas County, because we always hear, oh, we can't go to paper ballots hand counted in a big county. I mean, it would take, like Arizona said, it would take Mesa County, Maricopa County would take months to count. Gee, that's funny. In the 90s, they did it. It was done by 10 o'clock at night. What's wrong with everybody? I mean, it works. It's beautiful. We have the best hand counting system. One of them was developed right here in Texas. So it's beautiful. And Dallas County is going to set a precedent. I'm going to be talking to the president about Dallas County, and hopefully he'll put out a big announcement that, hey, look, everyone look at Dallas County, how beautiful it's going to go in this election, that it can be done. And then, because that's a big block, when everyone says, oh, it'll take so much time. The machines don't get done counting for months, everybody, when they get the steel done. I mean, come on. Come on. We've already done many counties in the country have been using paper ballots hand counted, not to be confused with hand marked paper ballots counted by machines. But this is going to get a lot of notoriety in the next few months. So I will be in Dallas County.
Well, look at that, Gregorio. He'll be in Dallas County. You're going to have to reach out to Mike. Maybe come to your campaign event while he's there. So, folks, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, go check out the deals, mypillow.com/lumberjack. Save up to 66%. Folks, 1-800-568-2865. Go get yourself these Bible pillows. If you got kids or grandkids, I'm telling you, this is the greatest. So I'm keeping the Jonah one. I'm giving the creation story, the Daniel in the Lion's Den, I'm trying to remember them all now.
Baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus. Yep. And there's the Jesus.
The creation.
Yes. Creation. There's Daniel in the Lion's Den, and there's
Noah's
in the Ark. Knowing the Ark. There it is.
Yeah, knowing the Ark. So, well, God bless you, everybody. We're going to remember Cyber Monday, and all week long, we're going to run this special. So, promo code Lumberjack, free shipping. Free shipping only on promo code Lumberjack here. Come on, you guys. Let's get on it.
All right. 1-800-568-2865. We'll catch you in the next episode. Peace out.